In today's video, we are going to be breaking down Talen Horton-Tucker and how he is able to score so easily on offense. If you don't already know, he is currently blowing up the internet. He is 6'4", he plays for the LA Lakers, and he has a 7'1" wingspan, which is ridiculous. I kind of wish I had his wingspan. Let's get down and let's check out how Talen Horton-Tucker is able to play and score so easily. So believe it or not, a large wingspan also helps you because that usually does give you a little bit more and longer legs as well. So this actually helps you a lot in basketball. So when Talen Horton-Tucker is able to attack that rim, what's he do? So really quickly, he gets his shoulders lower and he attacks that rim. Now, once he starts getting body contact with that defensive player, this is very important for him. He makes body contact. From there, he's able to pull back because now that body contact is not being felt by that defender because that defender is not playing him straight up. He is playing him with his side to Talen Horton-Tucker. And because of that, Talen Horton-Tucker is able to then do a quick step back, but how he does the step back is a little bit different than most players. So how he does it is instead of pushing off from the lead foot, he pushes off from his trailing foot. Watch, so he pulls back. Now, technically that's his pivot foot, which means that he can still take 2 steps after this foot. So from there, what do we see? He picks up that foot. He brought that right foot closer. This way, he already has that much room between him and his defender. Now, from there, he's able to take one even larger step back, creating even more space between him and his defender. Now, that's 2 steps. Now, he's able to have that much room between himself and his defender. And I can tell you right away, when you take a step back that far away from your defender, they will always jump prematurely, which means that you're going to be able to go up for a nice set shot without really having to fade away almost every single time. So, a nice thing that he does, and he does it a lot, is when he's attacking the rim, he makes body contact. Now this time, because both players have momentum bringing them towards that net, if you can slightly push off, and I don't mean extend the arm, extending the arm will be an offensive foul. What he does here is he has his upper arm make a bit of contact, and because of that, he's able to also stop on his right foot, and because his right foot is underneath his shoulder, this is not supposed to be an offensive foul. You are entitled to your own space, and as long as he doesn't dip his shoulder, then he's all set. So from there, he's able to then go to a jump stop, which is able to get him enough power to get up. He's now created that much space between himself and his defender, and because of that, he's able to now he's created enough space to send up just a nice simple floater that's able to go in, or at least bounce in. Now, something that happens a lot, especially when you're playing up against a zone-style defense, is when you attack the paint, you tend to get multiple defenders who are looking straight at you. And what happens then? Well, guess what? You have multiple players who are open. So because of this, if he was to pop off, Talen Horton-Tucker is able to still get that pass to this wing player, but he could have also had an option here, which could have led to multiple different options afterwards. But he didn't pop, and we have multiple players creating a massive wall because they do not want him driving towards the rim. He has a wicked, nasty reverse layup that nobody really wants him to score against them, and because of that, that player is able to get a wide open shot. And this is that wicked, nasty reverse layup that I'm kind of talking about. So what he's able to do is he's able to get that rebound in this case, but he's able to score with his back to the basket when he's around the basket, which is just phenomenal. And how he does it is by knowing how to use or at least knowing where that rim is all the time. That's basically what I'm getting to. That's what's going to help you be able to score easier. Knowing where that rim is, so that now when he lands, he can go up right away. How did he do that, by the way? Let's see. He lands. Oh yeah, look at that, right on his toes. He's able to explode up faster than everyone else. Now, why is this beneficial? So when your back is to the basket, these guys are not expecting you to shoot. So when you go up and look like you're going to be going up for a basket, most players will think that you're passing over here. But in reality, because he is able to hit these shots, and of course his wingspan is able to get him pretty close to the rim anyways, there's not much those defenders are able to do. Let's also not forget, he has a very good shot. Now, with this shot, he does sit back into his shooting form quite far back. Usually you would want your shoulders more forward over top of your toes and your knees, but this is going to happen when you've got a longer wingspan. This is also another thing that happens when you have a longer wingspan as well. You tend to have more than a 45-degree angle on your arm, because what happens is you don't want to have a 90 like Klay Thompson and some of those really great shooters, because that's going to be way far out in front and easy to block. The farther back it is, the easier it is to not get blocked. And then when you release up high with your elbow above your eyes, and clearly that's way above his eyes, you're able to get a lot of arc on your shot. He's also a very smart player. When he has the option to cut towards the rim, he does. So he comes off of this screen, and usually a pin down screen like this player will go right to about here, and he'll look to attack the elbow, because this player is going to be then popping down along the wing. But instead, he sees the absolutely wide open lane. Nobody is defending this. And of course, Marc Gasol is a ridiculously good passer, and he is able to finish around that rim. But because of his wingspan and also his ability to lay it up very closely to the glass, he's able to make that layup. Now, the reason why I say, or why I even mention laying it up around the glass, is because with here, by laying it up close to the glass, if this defender was to try and block it and that ball's already hit the glass, it's obviously a blocking call or a goaltending call. And because of that, it's very hard to block shots like this. It's very hard to block layups like this. So what I'm basically getting to is, when you're laying up with the defenders around you, you will try to lay up as close to the rim as possible, or as close to the backboard as possible. Now, something about him as well is he has very, very soft hands around the basket, so he's able to take his 2 steps here, but because he knows where that rim is at almost all times, he's able to still make that shot. Now, something that I really like to explain to players is knowing how to use the backboard. If you can hit the ball basically in any of this area right here and right here, you're going to have a high probability of scoring if you're coming from an angle. So from here, what we see is him bouncing the ball right about there, which is within that area that I was just mentioning, which will allow him to easily score. You really need to learn and know how that backboard is going to react to your shot. Now, something that is really not mentioned a lot is, if you've got longer arms than most other players, you really need to learn how to dribble. Now, I know most teams are going to be sticking you as center, because if you've got a really wide wingspan, then most teams are going to do that to you. But if you can learn how to dribble at a high level, a competent level, you can get that ball out super wide, making it look like you're going to cross over and attack back the other way, or do a hesitation, things like that. And because of that, you can dribble the ball lower than other players, you can dribble the ball wider than other players, and you can also step back farther, because usually when you've got longer arms, you also have longer legs, which will allow you to basically create more space, and of course you can get those shots up. You also have to be very smart with your defenders and know exactly what they're trying to do. So right here, we have a player who is obviously overplaying Talen Horton-Tucker. I always like to try to say junior for some reason, but Talen Horton-Tucker, because of course he was scoring a lot during this game and they were trying to shut him down. But if you are seeing that a player is trying to shut you down and he's playing above you, which means that you have a wide open lane to take, you need to be able to use that. So what he does here is he slices down on that arm what's trying to hold him, and he's able to get in front. How did he do this? He did his left arm and sliced down on that arm that was holding him. Next, he brings his right arm through so that his elbow is now behind that defender's head. Now he can attack that rim, and there's nothing anybody can do. There's literally nobody there. And because of that, he's able to get that ball. Watch. He lands on both feet. This is extremely important. By landing on both feet, you're obviously going to have more power going up towards the rim, but it balances you. So if that defender hits you, you're not just going to get an easy foul, you're also going to be able to finish after the hit. I hope that this video has helped you become a better basketball player. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.